Welcome to Sugosha Media. Here are the top defense, aerospace, homeland security, and strategic technology developments shaping the global security landscape on 22nd of June. India's defense sector witnessed significant momentum as the Ministry of Defense signed a 425 crore rupees contract for marine gas turbine generators for the Navy. Kalyani Strategic Systems partnered with AM General to develop next generation mounted artillery systems for global markets. DRDO advanced indigenous capabilities with the development of an active protection system for T-90 tanks and achieved a breakthrough in single crystal turbine blade technology for future fighter engines. Midhani unveiled indigenous armour-grade aluminium alloy wide plates. Goodluck India secured a 255 crore rupees defense order and Indian Army modernized its heavy-duty Tatra truck fleet. In aerospace and unmanned systems, Cligent Aerospace successfully flight tested its indigenous eSTOL demonstrator. Vijayastra strengthened India's MALE UAV and loitering munition ecosystem, while Indian Robotic Solution delivered optical fiber-enabled FPV kamikaze drones to the Army. Unmanned introduced the Titan autonomous high-altitude logistics drone. Vinpropel developed fully indigenous electronic drone engines, and Dehradun-based innovators revealed ghost drone swarms designed to deceive enemy radars. Ananth Technologies moved closer to launching India's first private satellite broadband service. ISRO invited private industry participation in the SAMOOHA ELINT satellite program. Meanwhile, Indian Navy enhanced operational capabilities through the commissioning of INS Dunagiri, INS Sanshodhak and INS Agray, while India developed indigenous systems ranging from Mirage 2000 testing equipment to ultra-cold quantum computing infrastructure. Globally, MKU partnered with Greece's Miltech and a US defense firm to expand advanced protection solutions internationally, while HAVELSAN and EURAMEC signed a cooperation agreement to advance defense training and simulation technologies. The news in detail. Ministry of Defense has signed a contract with Bharat Forge in Pune for the acquisition of 12 sets of 1.25 megawatts marine gas turbine generators with minimum 60% indigenous content for the Indian Navy at a total cost of rupees 425 crores under the Buy Indian category. Kalyani Strategic Systems has announced a significant partnership with American military vehicle manufacturer AM General. The agreement focuses on the development and distribution of distinct mounted artillery gun systems tailored for the global market. These platforms are designed to meet the evolving requirements of modern defense forces, offering compact, robust, mobile, all-weather and all-terrain capabilities. The emphasis is on next-generation mounted artillery gun systems that provide a competitive edge in survivability and operational flexibility. DRDO is developing an indigenous active protection system for the Indian Army's T-90 tanks designed to defeat anti-tank guided missiles, drones, loitering munitions, and top attack weapons. The APS project is being spearheaded by the Combat Vehicles Research and Development Establishment, the CVRDE, which is focusing on technologies to counter explosive based anti armor threats. Alongside, the High Energy Materials Research Laboratory is working on blast based hard kill countermeasures and propulsion systems to neutralize a wide spectrum of incoming projectiles. Ahmedabad based Cligent Aerospace has successfully flight tested the scaled demonstrator of its indigenous hybrid electric eSTOL aircraft, marking a breakthrough in India's regional aviation sector. Cligent Aerospace, founded in 2023 by aerospace engineers Harsh Joshi and Vivek Dutt, is focused on building next generation indigenous aircrafts for regional mobility and cargo transportation. The company's vision is to address connectivity gaps across India by enabling operations from compact and underutilized airstrips, a segment that remains largely untapped. The scale demonstrator was used to evaluate propulsion performance, flight controls, system resilience, and safety mechanisms under both normal and simulated failure conditions. These tests validated critical aspects of the hybrid electric powertrain, which combines the instant torque of electric motors for short field takeoff with the endurance of a generator for sustained flight. This balance is vital for real world missions where reliability and efficiency must coexist. DRDO has successfully perfected indigenous single crystal turbine blade technology, marking a decisive leap in the nation's aerospace capabilities. Developing these components requires absolute precision across a multi-stage production line, and DRDO has demonstrated mastery in every critical stage of the process. The production involves directional solidification within highly specialized vacuum casting furnaces. This is complemented by the use of complex internal ceramic cores that mold microscopic cooling passages, ensuring the blades can withstand extreme thermal and mechanical stresses. The final stage demands precise surface coating finishes, which DRDO has also perfected, enabling the blades to meet the stringent requirements of military jet engines. A particularly significant achievement lies in DRDO's ability to design and cast highly complex internal ceramic core. These cores allow the molding of serpentine microscopic internal cooling passages directly inside the single crystal blade. This innovation ensures superior cooling efficiency, which is indispensable for engines operating at very high temperatures. Noida-based Indian Robotics Solution has successfully delivered 20 optical fiber-enabled FPV kamikaze drones to the Army. A key feature of these drones is their optical fiber guidance system. Unlike traditional radio-controlled drones, which are vulnerable to jamming and spoofing, these drones use fiber optic cables for communication. This provides immunity to electronic interference, secure real-time control, and high-precision targeting. In modern warfare, where electronic warfare plays a decisive role, such resilience is invaluable. The drones are expected to enhance operations in high risk and border areas. They can be deployed for precision strikes, surveillance, reconnaissance, and neutralizing fortified enemy positions. Their battlefield utility lies in offering cost effective solutions for asymmetric engagements while reducing risk to personnel. Bangalore-based defense technology startup UNMANND has developed Titan, an autonomous aerial logistics drone designed for high-altitude operations with a payload capacity of 30 kilograms, a ceiling of 20,000 feet, and full autonomy for military resupply missions. The drone is engaged to deliver critical supplies, ammunition, and equipment to troops operating in remote and high altitude terrains where conventional logistics are often slow, risky, or impractical. The drone is capable of carrying a maximum payload of 30 kilograms, cruising at speeds of around 60 kilometers per hour, and operating at altitudes of up to 20,000 feet. Its maximum range is around 30 kilometers, making it suitable for last mile resupply missions in mountainous regions like Ladakh and the Northeast. The fully autonomous system is designed to execute missions without human intervention, including navigation, delivery, and return to base functions. A word about Unmanned. Unmanned was founded in February 25 by Yashwant Reddy and Hematitya Prasad with a vision to build intelligent drones that can outthink and outmaneuver in unpredictable environments. The company has already raised $2 million in a pre-seed round led by Special Invest and Axel, which will accelerate the commercialization of Titan and support the development of its companion system Fury, an advanced counter-drone interceptor platform. Indian Army's 508 Base Workshop has successfully completed the first full overhaul of a BEML Tatra 8x8 heavy-duty vehicle. The Tatra is the backbone of India's military logistics, used to carry everything from missiles to bridge systems across the Himalayas and deserts. With over 10,000 in service, these vehicles often face spare part shortages. By mastering the overhaul process locally, the Army can now strip these giants down and rebuild them to like new condition. This extends their life by decades, saves massive cost, and ensures that India's transport fleet remains ready for any conflict without depending on foreign support. Coimbatore-based Vinpropel is pioneering the development of indigenous high-efficiency electric propulsion systems for the drones and eVTOL platforms. By mastering high-thrust BLDC motors, electronic speed controllers, and advanced propellers, the startup addresses a critical gap in India's aerospace supply chain, which currently relies heavily on imported components. This integrated approach ensures indigenous control over intellectual property and hardware security essential for defense drones. Beyond small UAVs, Vinpropel is scaling this technology to power future manned air taxis, positioning India as a self-reliant player in the global sustainable aviation market. Amravati Quantum Valley has successfully reached a temperature of 4 Kelvin, that is minus 269 degrees Celsius, using a homegrown dilution refrigerator. This specialized cooling machine is the heart of quantum computing, which only works at temperatures colder than deep space. Historically, this hardware was an expensive import. By mastering this cryogenic technology locally, India is breaking a major global bottleneck. This achievement enables the domestic testing of unhackable quantum communication tools and advanced sensors, ensuring that India's most sensitive military and financial data is protected by sovereign homegrown hardware. Dehradun-based IAR Aviation has unveiled the Cluster Ghost Drone System (CGDS), a tactical swarm of decoys designed to blind and confuse enemy air defenses. By mimicking the radar fingerprints and flight patterns of actual fighter jets, these low-cost drones force adversaries to waste expensive missiles on ghost targets. The system uses swarm intelligence to coordinate mid-air, saturating radar screens and revealing hidden enemy defensive positions. This is a critical move towards asymmetric warfare, allowing Indian forces to penetrate heavily protected airspaces by overwhelming technology with sheer numbers and clever electronic deception. Coimbatore-based KCIRI Avionics Research Center has delivered a homegrown intercom control selector tester to the Indian Air Force. This tool is essential for maintaining the upgraded Mirage 2000 fleet. Since these French jets use very secretive electronics, India used to depend entirely on foreign companies for troubleshooting. By creating this diagnostic brain locally, the Indian Air Force can now verify and fix communication systems on its own. This significantly cuts down repair time and cost, ensuring that these critical fighter jets stay in the air rather than waiting months for foreign technicians or parts. Ananth Technologies is set to become the first private Indian company to offer satellite communication services using a domestically built satellite. The Indian National Space Promotion and Authorization Center, the space regulator, has granted Ananth Technologies the go-ahead to roll out broadband form space services starting in 2028. The company plans to deploy a 4-ton geostationary communication satellite that will deliver a data capacity up to 100 gigabits per second to users across the country. An initial investment of 3,000 crore rupees has been committed to the venture, with scope for further funding depending on demand. Goodluck India announced that its subsidiary Goodluck Defence and Aerospace has secured an order worth 255 crore rupees for the supply of 155 long-range empty shells in ready-to-fill condition. The domestic order is scheduled to be executed within 10 months as per the delivery schedule. The contract involves the manufacture and delivery of 155 long-range empty shells subject to successful inspection by the end user and requisite approvals from the competent authorities. ISRO has issued a request for proposal to the private industry for the manufacture of 3 small satellites widely believed to be part of the SAMOOHA electronic intelligence constellation. This marks a significant step in India's strategy to integrate private sector capabilities into sensitive space-based surveillance programs. These satellites are expected to be part of the SAMOOHA ELINT program, which is designed to enhance India's electronic intelligence gathering capabilities from orbit. The RFP specifies outsourcing of satellite realization, signaling a clear intent to leverage private industry expertise in satellite manufacturing. The SAMOOHA ELINT satellites are believed to be compact, agile spacecraft optimized for intercepting and analyzing electronic signals across multiple frequency bands. Such satellites are critical for monitoring adversary communication, radar emissions, and other electronic signatures, thereby strengthening India's situational awareness and strategic deterrence posture. The constellation is expected to provide persistent coverage over regions of interest, with data feeding into India's defense and intelligence networks. A quick wrap of today's news. India's defense sector saw significant development as MOD signed a 425 crore rupees contract for marine gas turbine generators for the Navy. Kalyani Strategic Systems partnered with AM General on next generation mounted artillery guns. DRDO advanced indigenous capabilities with an active protection system for T-90 tanks and single crystal turbine blade technology. Midhani achieved a breakthrough in armour-grade aluminium alloy plates. Goodluck India secured a 255 crore rupees defence order, and Indian Navy commissioned three warships INS Dunagiri, INS Sanshodhak and INS Agray and upgraded its Tatra heavy-duty truck fleet. In aerospace, space, and unmanned systems, Cligent Aerospace flight tested its indigenous eSTOL demonstrator. Vijayastra strengthened India's MALE UAV ecosystem. Indian Robotic Solution delivered optical fiber enabled FPV kamikaze drones. Unmanned unveiled the Titan logistics drone. Vinpropel developed indigenous electronic drone engines, and Dehradun's ghost drone swarms showcased advanced deception capabilities. Ananth Technologies moved forward towards launching India's first private satellite broadband service, and ISRO invited industry participation in the SAMOOHA ELINT satellite program. India developed indigenous Mirage 2000 testing and quantum computing infrastructure, and MKU expanded globally through partnerships with Miltech and a US defense firm. In the global highlights, HAVELSAN signed a cooperation agreement with EURAMEC, highlighting continuous advances in defense manufacturing, autonomous systems, satellite communication, and strategic technologies. At Sugosha Media, we simplify complexity. From decoding defense policies to enabling market entry and structuring offsets, we help organizations move from strategy to execution in India's aerospace and defense ecosystem. Follow Sugosha Advisory on LinkedIn to stay updated and be part of the conversation shaping the future. Our focus is clear, turning regulatory understanding into business outcomes. We look forward to partnering in shaping the next phase of growth in this sector. Thank you.